Hello everyone, and welcome back to Oddities of Old. And we are back in Beta 1.9 pre-release 4, after finishing using all of our levels to enchant our items. So we will have a few more things to do before we can update to the full releases. And first on the list is invalid data value vines. Now, vines have been, of course, introduced in the Beta 1.9 pre-releases, and when vines grow, they can grow onto different sides of blocks, and that data is stored inside the data value of the block. But when you break it, it will drop with that data value, and of course that's not supposed to happen. So we will be able to collect data values 1 through 15, so let's get on with that. So while those vines all grow, we will, in the meantime, go and pay a visit to our local stronghold. And the reason we are doing this is because we can use our newly acquired Silk Touch pickaxe to get a block that we really shouldn't have. So let's just get there real quickly. So we're here in the stronghold, and right now I'm looking for some of the infested stone bricks. And let's just find one real quickly, because when you punch them, of course, without a tool, they'll break faster. Man, this is taking a while. Jeez. Oh, there we go. There's one. Alright, so now here comes our magic trick. So we used our Silk Touch pickaxe, and you can see it didn't drop a stone brick. It just looks like stone. And it doesn't have a name either. That is because it dropped the infested stone item. So I'm just going to collect a few of those so that we can bring it back to the museum. You can also see it'll still spawn the silverfish, which is really annoying. But, oh well, a price to pay for everything, right? So something I completely forgot to mention is that using this old touch pickaxe, we can also gather the double slab block. Now, of course, this doesn't have to be from the stronghold, it's just a convenient location to get them. But you can see, it'll drop the double slab block, and we can just collect a few here while we're at the stronghold to bring back to the museum. So here we are after about 30 minutes, collecting the very last vine that we need to complete the set. So finally, it is time to say goodbye to Beta 1.9 Pre-Release 4 and finally get into the release versions. So we have arrived in 11W49A, a snapshot for 1.1, and I think it is about time that we pay a visit to the Ender Dragon, as it has now been finally added. So, we need a portal. And because we have all of these very fun items, I think we should build something a little unique instead of just lighting the normal portal at the stronghold. Something maybe a little more close to our base so that we don't have to go to the Nether all of the time to get to the end. So let's get building. So we have finished our stronghold replica here at 0, and I decided to use sponges instead of end portal frames because I thought it would be funny. So I think it's about time that we go to the end. Just make sure everything's ready. Make sure to have a bow because the dragon will charge you as soon as you enter the end. For whatever reason. Let's go. So we're finally here in the end, and there's all the pillars and the dragon and all of that fun stuff. You can see it immediately charges us. But we're not here to kill the dragon. At least, not to kill it once. You see, there's a farm that I've been theorizing about, and have made a design for, that I wish to build, that will allow us to kill the dragon many, many times, and will allow us to become very, very rich in experience points. But it's quite a process to build this farm. So let's just get a little platform so that we can get a base of operations going built. So it is now time to leave the end. However, we can't just use an end portal tile like here. If you place it, you can see it'll just disappear. Instead, we have to use the nether portal tile. The reasons that Mojang decided to not allow you to place the end portal block in the nether and end elude me. I cannot figure out why they did this, but we can still use the nether portal. We place it down and go into it just like so. And it will place us in the wall, but that's not really a problem, as long as it doesn't put us into lava. And even then, that's not too big of a deal. So, let's just get back to base, and then we can figure out what to do next. So the main problem, of course, with building a dragon farm, first, we need to deal with getting the dragon out of our way, because it will fly around and destroy pretty much whatever we build unless it is bedrock, endstone, or obsidian. So to solve this, we're going to have to get creative. That's right. This is the snapshot that you can press B in single player to switch your client into creative mode, giving us full access to the creative inventory. Why am I doing this to build the farm? Because I'm lazy, and I really don't feel like dying 5 times trying to build it. So, another item of note, of course, is the spawn eggs, and we'll store some of those for later, but we're not going to use them. Instead, let's just get on with building the farm with a little bit of leisure, because we can, do the creative things. We can fly, and get a nice overview of the base. We can't die. We can just spawn in items so we don't have to collect a lot of resources. Is this a little cheaty? Yes, of course it is. Do I care? No, I don't. Let's just build a little quick exhibit for the spawn eggs here, and then we can get on with building the farm. So, with all of that out of the way, it's time to get to work on this monstrosity of a farm. This recording was originally intended to be the first video showing off the dragon farm on my channel. However, since then, I've made an entire video dedicated to the farm and how to build it, so if you're interested, go and check that video out. For the meantime, I've just put all of the footage of building the farm into a nice little time-lapse for you. Enjoy! After completing the farm, we have updated to 1.2.3, and we're not going to open it in single player, but rather we're going to open it on a locally hosted server. Now this will come with the downside of my player data won't copy over, but that's fine, I can deal with it, and I stuffed all my stuff into a chest before opening up the server and updating. So let's get to the farm, and we can start it. So now is the moment of truth where we have to start the farm and see, will it top or will it flop? Alright, the clock's going good. We'll just place the minecart and we'll see what happens. There it is. The juicy experience of an Ender Dragon. Oh, we can't collect it yet. But we will soon enough. Oh my. That's a lot of experience. From level 0 to level 70 in a single round. This is going to be very fun. So, I think that now is a nice place to end the video, because it's, of course, gotten long enough already. If you liked the video, make sure to do the liking and subscribing. And seriously, thank you. It will actually kind of support me and help me grow this dumpster fire of a channel. So, I'll see you next episode.